What is good, YouTube fam? I am back with another one. Today we're going to take a look at some of the key events that took place on March 19th throughout history. Y'all already know the vibes, man. If you like the channel, please like, share, subscribe, and check that book out in our link. Let's get right into this. I keep telling y'all, man, March is a crazy month. So far, March has been a very interesting month. It's a lot of tragic shit that took place on March. I can't wait to see how the rest of the month fold out, but let's get right into this list because it's a crazy list. On March 19th, 1687, French explorer Robert Cavelier de La Salle was murdered by his own men while searching for the mouth of the Mississippi River along the Gulf of Mexico coast. On March 19th, 1945, during World War II, a Japanese dive bomber attacked the USS Franklin near Japan, resulting in the death of over 800 servicemen. On March 19, 2015, we have Jameson Childress, he was 20, and Sumas Washington Childress was wanted for homicide in Canada. He sprayed 2 Border Patrol agents with the chemical irritant. One of the agents ended up killing him. On March 19, 2015, Brandon Jones, 18, was in Cleveland, Ohio at the time he was confronted by police officers as they was responding to a break-in at a grocery store. During a struggle, Jones was shot even though he was unarmed. March 19, 2015, Adam Jovivic, 29, in Monroe Falls, Ohio, was killed by an off-duty police officer, Sarah Berkey. She reported that her boyfriend had allegedly broken into her home and assaulted her, and she shot him, and he later died from his gunshot wounds. On March 19, 2003, U.S. President George Bush announced the commencement of military operations against Iraq, marking the beginning of the Iraq War. The invasion aimed to oust the dictator Saddam Hussein, who was believed to be manufacturing weapons of destruction, when in all reality it was just so they can steal oil and feed that almighty petrodollar. On March 19, 1999, law enforcement officials discovered the charred bodies of Carol Sund and Sylvana Peloso in the trunk of their burnt-out rental car near Yosemite National Park. Carrie Steiner, a handyman at the lodge where the women were last seen, later confessed to their murders as well as the murder of another woman, Joy Ruth Armstrong. Whoops, looks like we stepped in some dog shit. On March 19, 1945, we had the birth of Randy Stephen Kraft. He was an American serial killer, also known as the scorecard killer. He was known to have raped and murdered over 16 young men between 1972 and 1983, primarily operating in California. On March 19, 1919, the Axeman of New Orleans stalked the city of New Orleans looking for a home that had not played jazz music like he warned. But there were no murders that night. Instead, there were parties everywhere and everyone played jazz. Ivan Calderon, born March 19, 1962 in Puerto Rico. He was a player in the 80s for the White Sox and was famously traded by GM Ken Harrelson in 1986 and had his best season in 1987, later being traded for Tim Raines. Tragically, he was murdered December 27, 2003. Oops, stepped in fat dog shit. On March 19, 1787, Marie Delphine, or Madame lalaurie, was born. She was also known as a serial killer who had tortured and murdered many of her enslaved black people. Ending our list with one sick fuck, we have Winston Moseley. On March 19, 1964, Winston Moseley was arrested for a robbery in Ozone Park, even though 6 days prior he had killed and raped Kitty Genovese. After that, he confessed to murdering 2 other women, Ann Mae Johnson, whom he shot and burned in her apartment, and also a Barbara Krillick. She was 15. He killed her in her parents' home. And that concludes this video. But y'all already know this shit, man. If y'all like the content, please make sure y'all like and subscribe and check that book out in the link. And we're going to link back up with you in the next one.